Yo, man, how are you?
You ever feel like, and actually, I don't know, you probably haven't felt that, but like you've been just in a relationship and all of a sudden it ends and it feels a little freeing and you kind of almost feel guilty for how the freedom that you have? That's how I feel right this very moment.
Okay. Let me get a reaction, PB, when you first saw the news that Kelly was being fired.
Surprised, but not surprised. I mean, obviously we saw the hammer come down for James Franklin, so you knew that, all right, well, if it can happen at that point for 65 or however many millions it was for Franklin, it could happen here. And I think the not surprising aspect of it was looking at Tiger Stadium on Saturday night. I mean, I don't ever recall seeing that stadium look that way, where a rival comes out there and takes over your spot in the way that they – basically shoved you in a locker for that second half. And I wouldn't say that there was a quit, but, it's one thing when your team's not winning games. But I said this on my show, and I said it all week long. Even the wins under BK never even felt that much fun. You had Bama against, Bama that first year, Jaden Daniels hit the 2-point conversion. That was fun. But outside of that, even the wins were just kind of okay. It felt different.
Yeah, the ranked wins were few and far between. 5-11 against ranked teams is the number a lot of people are throwing out today. You cover the league. Is LSU the best job available?
Well, without a doubt. I mean, you can go, if you can say that 3 different coaches have won national championships there, yes, there's no doubt. The fan base is unparalleled. The brand is great. You've got all of the recruiting, all of it. It's better than Arkansas and it's better than Florida. I don't think that there's a doubt right now.
What about if you throw Penn State into the mix?
Doesn't matter. It's still LSU. LSU is a crown jewel. I would put it right up there with any, I think it's top 3 of any program or any job that's out there right now.
What would be the other 2?
All joking aside, the brand of Texas is such a huge brand and has so much money behind it. And the fact that they haven't had a lot of success as of late as far as winning national championships, that's something that is up there. Ohio State's probably on that list. And I'd probably put LSU coming in at one of those 3, depending on what stirs your drink.
Okay. Ahead of Georgia?
It's tough for me to even look at Georgia in the fact of Kirby is so locked in there that I don't even think of Georgia in those terms at any point.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not going to the NFL. He'll die there. He'll build statues of him. And I think that's the intriguing part of what everybody wants to talk about Lane is that, is LSU a better job than Ole Miss? I firmly believe it. But at the same point is let me ask you this question. If Lane somehow, let's live in a world and Lane Kiffin comes to Baton Rouge and wins a title, just one, is he the greatest coach in LSU history? Is he the second greatest coach? You can argue if the next coach comes in here and he wins just one, not multiple, but one national championship, he might still be the 3rd most beloved head coach behind probably Ed Ogeron for what he brought in 2019 and Nick Saban for starting it all.
Yeah. Peter Burns is with us. I don't know Lane Kiffin. I've never had an interaction more than just asking him questions in a press conference setting, a casual hello. I don't know him at all. You've had way more interactions. Do you believe that he would leave? Just your opinion. I'm not pegging you against the wall in this or anything. Do you believe he would leave Ole Miss?
I think he would. And again, I'm not saying that he will. I think that there is a conversation. I think the conversation with Florida is more is this necessarily that much better of a job than what I'm already building here, right? And I don't know if you can definitively say that. With LSU, that's a different echelon of job, I believe. And so I think, there's much more of a serious chance of Lane being to do that. But then again, is there such thing as a surefire hire? I would have thought Scott Frost at Nebraska, I would have put my life earnings that would have worked out. And it didn't. And I don't know if there's something that you're going to go leverage your future on, hoping that that's the guy that brings it there.
It's interesting that you went Scott Frost to Nebraska. I just think Nebraska has so many variables working against it. But I don't want to belabor the point. I understand what I understand what you're saying, that there is no such thing as a sure thing. Would Lane Kiffin to LSU be your number one choice?
I mean, I think no. I mean, my first call is, if we have a president of the United States that was 78 and the last one was like 87, I'm calling Nick Saban and making him tell him no. But,
yeah.
I mean, other than that, yeah, Lane would be number one. Dan Lanning would be number two, but I don't think he'd want to get rid of, the Nike money and the Oregon stuff out there. Those are probably my top two. And outside of that, then I think you completely rethink what you want and what I need as an LSU fan, not as a media member, but what I need is somebody that wakes up pissed off thinking that somebody caught up with LSU football today. Because I know Kirby thinks that way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Dan Lanning thinks that way. I think Ryan Day over at Ohio State felt that way. And I don't know if I felt that at the end or if ever under Brian Kelly. And I need that. If I'm going to spend my hard-ass money to go to an LSU game and to sacrifice and give everything and the NIL and all of this stuff, I need somebody that cares as much as I do. And I think that was the disconnect that led to the demise over there with BK.
He's on Twitter at Peter Burns, ESPN. Give him a follow. Our chats every Monday are brought to you by Blue Delta Jeans. You can look him up online at bluedeltajeans.com. An interesting name that has been brought up a bunch here. Like, there's the ones you just mentioned, right? The pipe dream of Saban, or then Kiffin, Lanning, whatever. But that next tier that I keep getting mentioned, PB, there's Jed Fish, there's Dan Mullen, and there's Eli Drinkwitz. What do you think about Drink?
I think that if you paired him with Blake Baker, I think that is as good of a 1-2 punch as you can find right here, right now. Because I know Blake loved Drink. I think, again, albeit outside of that game, I think Blake's done a great job with that defense. And I don't want to keep him here in Baton Rouge. I was told by people that knew Drink that said, man, if Drink ever got something as far as one of these perennial top, quote unquote 10 or top 5 jobs, that you'd be surprised that Drink would absolutely crush it. And I think that if you can do that over the years in Como, especially now that he's given up the play calling duties, Kirby Moore, but that's a hell of a dynamic trio that you could look at if he wanted to be a part of it as well.
Peter Burns, SEC Network, good enough to hang out with us here. What else do you think is part of this conversation that is the thing we should all be talking about? Be it Kelly fired, all the dynamics of it, or who's next, and anything.
Listen, the wild card of here is Jeff Landry getting involved, the governor. And listen, we all know, politics has always been a part of LSU and athletics and whatnot. But I feel like that's more of a wild card than ever before. And I feel like there's a little bit of the Jeff Landry, showmanship of Huey P. Long that wants to get involved. And then all of a sudden, if you're selecting the entire board and you got a brand new president there, you can kind of go any direction you want. And that's the only reason why I worry about it, because I look at what happened with the Mac Brown or in the North Carolina situation, where they went over and beyond Bubba Cunningham, the athletic director, and they got a bunch of people that didn't really know football, and they're like, what would be really cool? Getting Bill Belichick here, that would be awesome. Well, that's a disaster. And you can't do that with a brand like LSU, and I sure as hell hope that that doesn't happen.
Peter Burns, boy, it sure feels like he's wielding his influence in certain ways. It is going to be a fascinating next month or so around here, 4 to 6 weeks. We always appreciate it, man. We'll visit again next week when we're starting to get ready for LSU, Alabama.
Hey, by the way, can you imagine if you had to host radio in a boring sports town?
No.
We get the best of all worlds. We talk about the chaos that is LSU football, national championships with Jay Johnson and Mulkey and Jay Clark and McMahon. This is you got the best damn beat out there. Congratulations,
PB. I've never I don't mention this often, but I've had opportunities to leave here for big markets, and what. Why would I leave? That's what I ask. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? Go to Atlanta and talk about the Hawks? No, I'm good. Thanks.
No,
I'm good.
It's you got to be passionate. And again, I think that was a disconnect. I always felt like Brian Kelly loved the idea of being the coach at LSU, but I don't think he woke up every single morning going, holy hell, what am I doing to make LSU better? And I think you wake up going, how the hell am I going to talk to my LSU fans about this? And I think you've got to have passion for it. And again, I don't think LSU, last thing on this thing, I don't think LSU is built for a made man, a guy that's already created his legacy. I think it's more about how are you going to create your legacy with all of these weapons and all of this real estate in front of you, and that's what LSU needs to be after next.
Always appreciate it, man. Thank you for the time.
God, they almost hired you in Atlanta. God, they must have been desperate. Love you. Bye.
See ya. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.